Hi and welcome to Back Care Advent. Today we're going to be quite dynamic with our movement pattern, but that doesn't mean we're going to go fast. We're going to go nice and steady. Okay? We are aiming to work the entire posterior line today. So from our shoulders and neck all the way down to our Achilles tendon, maybe even the plantar fascia in your feet, depending on where you feel tension. So mobilise the shoulders a little bit while you're standing up, give them a little bit of a wiggle, nothing too strenuous, and then just move your hips a little bit. Notice where you feel tension and all sorts of things. This movement pattern, we're going to go through downward dog all the way through to cobra. So it's a large range of movement through the hips and spine. If you need to drop onto your knees, if you need to lower yourself gently and just come into cobra later on, it's absolutely fine. I'm going to show you the levels of which we can do, just a couple of different ones, all right? So to begin with, we're down on our hands and knees. We need to be active with our feet here to make sure that we're maintaining tension in the right place. And at any point, if you feel pain, drop off, stop the movement pattern, have a rest, and then come back to it later on when that's subsided. Okay, so part one, downward dog. So our hands underneath shoulders-ish, and you want to try and keep your elbows locked out and in position. Feet and knees square and strong, not too wide. And then we're basically going to drop our head and lift our hips. So this is downward dog. Now I've got tight calves and stiff feet from lots and lots of years of running. So it's a good opportunity here to single out our legs and pump our calves to just try and loosen up that posterior line of our legs. So downward dog, here we go. And then from here, keeping your elbows locked and straight, dropping down into cobra. Breathe. And then we tuck the toes underneath, push with our hands, push our hips back and down, and our chest towards our shins. Now, if you can't do that movement, keeping your elbows straight, how we can break it down? You come into a high plank position, drop to your knees, that helps take some of the load, bend your arms, and come into a position that feels comfortable for you, okay? It's not about end range and hurting yourself, it's about finding the right spot for you. And then again, we can come onto our knees, ease off the load, rearrange, and then push ourselves up. When we're in end range, try to push your knees to straight and your elbows to straight so you can feel the load in the right place. And again, come forwards, drop the hips, move through, keeping those shoulders very far away from your ears, as far away as you possibly can. Now, a more advanced version, if you want to try, is a swan dive. So we go from downward dog here, we bend our elbows, keeping our bottom high, drop our nose to the floor, sweep through, and then come into cobra. More interesting, a little bit more advanced. You need some good arms and shoulder strength here. And then you can return, toes under, drop down, bend the knees, sweep through, and then push. So we can break the movement down into different elements depending on where you want to feel the stretch the most. Try multiple different versions, see how you get on, and don't be afraid to pump those legs so that you can increase flexibility, mobility at those ankles.